55 is the I don't remember. Cole Cornwell in the 55. Big Dog has established their corner. Koch. He's got the number 19 on pillars, 19 strong. All the rad guards, 19 strong. Must be there with some deals that have already broken down, judging by some of the comments in the pit area. Oh, getting after Prodigy. I can just put a big shot on the front of one of the Nugent cars. Still has steering. Sager trying to get the Lincoln refired, and he does. Big Dog still defending their corner. We haven't seen SDBD really turn things up yet. You know that number 20 can do work, trying to get that thing set whether you want. You can see the left side quarter panel laid over a little bit, pushed in towards that dish trunk lid. I think it's going to flatten out, and the back of that is going to turn into an absolute weapon. Pretty good pace so far. We got going about 9:05 here Eastern Time. Car up along the berm, and now Alex Sager's got a car on his back. And he's out. Wagon in danger of getting up and over. Boy, there's pretty good pace to start things. I thought it would be a little more tepid, but they are getting after it. And then Dalen Brown met by 3 Big Dog cars in the middle of the track. For a second there, he was a little twisted up on the Sattler number 66. Sattler's back bumper looks like it's dropping on him. Somebody got up and over that. Gonna have to do some work. And Alex Sager taking the 303 of Walker all the way to the wall. Slides underneath the right side of the car and tries to take the steering out. And he is quickly met. And the cavalry has come. 020 with Brown, and then right in the number 5, and Wally able to navigate out of that very precarious spot down here on this near wall. Big Dog is broken up. We'll see if they're going to try to reestablish up there. Big Dog is the red and black cars, the number 66. Don't be fooled. It's red, it's patina. That's part of SDBD. There's also a 66 on the red and black team, just to make things more complicated. Not as much as when they went against the A team. The A team, all the cars were painted the same way, which I don't know if that was planned or not, but they were pretty close to identical, with the red quarters, pillars, roofs, and hood, and black doors and fenders. Had to look at the fonts very closely to know if it was the stylized racing type digits on the side of Big Dog, or if they were the sort of the Angry Birds type font that was used by the A team. Dylan Cornwell giving the business to Bubba Sager, Lee Sager Jr. Jeff Ogle just got introduced to Dalen Brown's number 020 Imperial, and that car stalls in the middle of the track for a moment. Was Parton on the receiving end of a excuse me move from Brown's 020, and Colin Walker just drove right up over the quarter panel and trunk lid of brown 020, and it finished constructing the scoop on the back of the number 20 and quickly putting it to work. Looks like Brown was able to get the left front steering, at least bent the left front wheel anyway, on Walker's number 303. They made home, going after the nose of the number 55, Cornwell. It's Cole, the 55. Got a car over on the top of the track. It's one of the Team Koch machines. So we do have this caution flag. We remove that car without ripping the steering out of the Continental for Alex Sager. Looks like everybody's in good shape. That Nugent car looked pretty clean so far. And green flag back out. There's the red and black Team Big Dog 66 right here in front of us. The back bumper kind of pushed down in the rear. There's a lot of good drivers out here right now. Absolutely. John Alexander checking in at the right time. National Championship time. Wondering if Sattler might have gotten hit when he was back up to the wall. And it made that drop low way that it did. Kind of an interesting bend in the back for him. Wisely attacking it, trying to put that back bumper on the ground a little bit further. It'll hang those rear wheels up and it'll disable that car. He's gonna have to drag the whole back bumper with him. Sager left front tire starting to shred apart on the Continental. Big Dog finding some breathing room up there at the top of the track. Jeff Ogle in the number 2 backing across the track. That's funny. Right front wheel laid over on Alex Sager's, on Hitman's machine. Kyle Homan in the 619. Whole knot of cars here in the middle of the track. Hard to tell exactly who's doing what. It's kind of chaotic out there right now. It feels like this is a 16-car derby where 4 of each car is painted the same. This is a bunch of battles. There is a bunch of residual stuff being played out. There are receipts being cashed, if you will, among different players that are transcending just the regular team lines. There is a lot going on track right now. If you start watching some of the nuance and subtlety of this as it is playing out. I'll tell you, the teams have been doing a nice job of keeping things spread out as well. It hasn't just been one team picking on another team. It has been wide open, end to end, which is what we were hoping to see here in a bracket that's been as deep and at risk of jinxing it, as smooth as it has been so far on the national side. We've been able to see this field of 12 whittled down to 4, and so far everybody's still in, but that is not to say that there are not cars on this track that are hurt in a big way. Here we're roughly maybe 15 minutes in at most, 10 minutes for sure into this, and there are already cars showing some signs of wear and tear. The car of the weekend has been this 020. That is my term. Nobody else has really brought up the fact that this car has been so good, and that is going to be the game record, if you will, for some of these teams that are also out here in the national championship draw. How long can that back end stay straight? You can see the sheet metal pushed off, starting to expose the Ys on the back bumper of the 020. Colin Walker doing his best to try and get that frame to sink and not let it curl. I don't know if is that true? That was the only full frame Imperial? I'm not sure if it was or if it wasn't. It's the most talked about one anyway. Sager's roof sign, all ski jawed. Starting to help curl the back bumper on Cody Koch's number 19. It's a 01, but the identifying factor that you guys can all see at home is that 19 on the seat post for Cody Koch. That's one of the Nugent machines for Koch Racing, working over the right side of Alex Sager's X machine. You can pick Earl Reff out for Team Koch Racing. He's got Marvin the Martian on the roof of his car there in the middle of the track. He's got a couple Prodigy cars working on him, and then the other two are the Nugent machines. And Nick running with Team Koch. Yeah, I thought I saw one or two other full frame Imperials in Nationals this weekend, but I guess not. Koch decided they were done with Alex Sager down here in the corner. Right front wheel peeled back on Colin Walker's machine, starting to push some steam out of the 303. Kyle Homan tangled up on the rear corner of Cole Cornwell's machine. Now one of the Team Big Dog cars got wrapped up into that as well. Here's Parton up there. Cole Sattler has Alex Sager stuck to the back of his number 66. So Jeff Ogle is tangled up in this mess with Holman as well. Heavy blue smoke pouring from under the hood of Colin Walker. He's able to get free and he makes contact. One of the Sager boys, one of the Prodigy wagons, trying to help Hitman get free. He might have just drove into the tire. Able to get away with one there. More telltale blue smoke pouring from the stacks of Colin Walker's 303. Ogle's all done. Ogle out on time. And after that red flag, just to clarify that time had expired, he was being told before that last contact, and we may have also lost the 303 of Walker. If you want to come back to life, and of course this is not a good situation for Homan in the 619 situation with that tire shredding off behind him, now still stuck, and it is, I think it is by the left front tire getting up into the quarter panel, so he is in some pretty dire straits right now. The elimination of Ogle in the 2 is a borderline sentence for the 619. 66 of Cole Sattler still able to run and move. This is Chris Parton in the 717. Cole Cornwell doing some work along the wall on the Lee Sager Jr. machine. And he might have just had his radiator cracked right there. The nose just high enough to get up above the bumper, as Bubba put a shot on the nose of that 55. Sager getting shoved up to the wall in the Continental on the far side of the track. Dwayne Wright in the number 5. He is with SBDB. And number 5W still doing work. So at this point, 2 formal eliminations. Kyle Homan struggling in the 619. Trying to make contact. I don't think he's hurting anything, but he's making contact nonetheless. But the smoke's starting to turn blue as that car overheats. Something internal has let go. Alex Sager in the Continental gets hit by the 66. The 66 still has a little bit of room. I thought that bumper was a lot lower than it actually is, I guess. I mean, I thought that thing was well on its way to being down on the ground and digging potatoes, but he's got a little bit of airspace still. So I guess it's doing its job thus far. Chris Parton, I don't know if he was trying to get the 619 free, if he was trying to bury him. Yeah, we talked about that a couple times. Anthony, the 020 of Dalen Brown is like an El Camino at this point. The thing is just flattened right out in the back, and it's a straight monster. Hitman in trouble. Smoke getting thicker as it exits the stacks. Now smoke starting to come out from that engine opening as well. Not a good sign. Alan Walker's work may have paid dividends and slowed down that wagon. It looks like it might be on the ground a little bit in the back. Trying to watch and see. Right now the front bumper is parked on the trunk lid of Cole Sattler from Big Dog Derby. He's having some issues right now. A couple different things at play. Stuck on Sattler is number 66 from Big Dog. We talked about how that back end was starting to go down, and now some issues maybe with mobility. Going forward, he's got no problem at all. Plenty of momentum. And eagle-eyed Andrew Hernandez. He's the one that pointed out what he saw. Right side on Brown's Imperial looks like it has gone down. Remember, Colin Walker drove right up on the back of that and sat there, trying to let the heft of his round back push those rails and leaf springs down, and it may have worked. It's going to help try and slow down that vicious number 020 of Dalen Brown. Most talked about car all weekend. Man, likely out on time. We've had 3 eliminations thus far. We're 20 minutes in. find a landing point. Cars stuck together. It looks like Sattler now has gotten under the back end of Lee Sager in the round back. That's Big Dog and Prodigy having problems, and now that might have gotten Lee free. No, the back end of Brown had lifted up the 66, and I thought that Lee had kind of climbed the wall. What teams are these? These are the National Team A main, the white and green cars, Team Prodigy, the red and black. Red quarters, roofs, and hoods with black doors and fenders is Team Big Dog. The gray bodies with black roof and hood with orange trim is Team Koch Racing. And then Team SDBD are the patina color cars. There's the 66, the 55, the 020, and here's the other one. Dwayne Wright, number 5. That's right. He's the green car. They were in a different bracket. This is the final event of the weekend. You probably missed them. They may have been running on one of the other servers. I don't remember off the top of my head. Dylan Cornwell going after the 66 of Sattler. Chris Parton still out there for Team Big Dog in the 717. Just put a shot in between the two wagons. Winners get $1,200. Team winners, $1,200. And 800, 600. Rough out on time for Team Koch. Lee Sager Jr., Bubba trying to get out of there now. Cole Cornwell in the 55, standing guard right there next to him, making sure he stays put, trying to make sure that he does not make contact. And Dwayne Wright right there in the number 5, and the 020 of Brown, same thing, kind of standing guard around the perimeter, trying to take out one of the Team Prodigy cars. And he's all on his own. That's the same team contact. Let's see if that's going to count for him or not. Kind of bounced off of that number 55. And then Lee Sager, the proprietor of the Team Prodigy Ranch, came through and made contact. So, Dalen Brown now locking horns with Chris Parton. Here comes Alex Sager, barreling in. He's going to get followed in by the 66 of Sattler. Sattler's still using the back end of that thing, and he's using it effectively. There's Parton, car sinking on the right front corner. Quarter panels have been cleared on the left side, and it looks like maybe on the right side of the 717. Parton continuing to stay on the attack on the 020 of Brown. Wainwright catches the 717 of Parton and bounced him right into the 66 of Dylan Cornwell. And now those two appear to be stuck. Parton has Cornwell on his back. Ref is out. Somehow, Lee Sager Jr. is still able to make contact. I believe so. I couldn't answer that for you. I don't really see what the advantage of releasing it without AI functionality would be, truthfully, Logan. I would assume that it has that the AI is going to be functional for it. Evan Brown, cleaned up by Sattler. Big Dog. Officials, you can hear the beeping. Looks like we are going to be getting at least some type of warning. Oh, is he going to make contact? He is going to limp in, and that might have been enough to reset the clock again for Lee Sager Jr. Back end starting to wrinkle up a little bit for Dylan Cornwell. On the 66, quarter panels are punched in. It's got a nice low flip. Whoa, that was a monster hit. That was right in the number 5W. Came flying across the track and caught the nose of Chris Parton, 717. Sager Jr. has picked up a second Team Koch machine. He's going to, looks like he's going to take out Nugent up there at the top. Let's see where Cody Koch is. I have lost track of him. Nugent able to get out of there. Look at Alex Sager's C-post. That's the white car over here to the right, skating down the wall. And that is Dylan Cornwell that he's doing battle with, the number 66. You can see the C-post was absolutely decimated on that. Cole Sattler still doing work out there with that 66. Dylan Brown, it's not on the ground. There it is. You can see there's definitely a gap between the back bumper and the shadow on the track. So that is not on the ground the way that we thought maybe it was. Certainly could be having some struggles with some of the suspension components or flat tires or something to that nature, but the bumper itself is not on the ground. Lee Sager Jr. about to go up in smoke, having some major overheating issues in the number 26. Be the second Prodigy car to go down. So 2 down for Team Big Dog, 2 down for Prodigy. Once that engine lets go the rest of the way, you can see the smoke turning quite blue. Lee Sager getting bounced around by Sattler and one of the Nugent machines for Team Koch Racing. Still has some fight in the Lincoln and the Continental. Contact there again for Bubba Sager and the number 26. hanging on so far. Alex Sager drives right under that left front corner of the 66 of Dylan Cornwell. He was tuning up the band to go for it again, but he didn't get there. Steering an issue for Alex on the right side as he was skating along that wall. I'm sure that's not going to do him any favors. Now he's going to try and shove that 66 the rest of the way down to the track. Didn't pay dividends. Alex content to just work back and forth along this wall. He can't get off of it until somebody kind of pulls him or he gets his direction turned. I thought he was going to go after right there for a moment. Now it's trying to avoid getting hemmed in there by one of the Koch machines. Nugent bumper on the track. Just peeled off. Bumper just peeled off the back. I think it came off of the Continental. The Koch goes around the corner. And now all the Koch machines converge on Alex Sager. And he's there to give the business right back to him. Cars getting hung together. Cornwell stuck to Chris Parton. Nugent stuck to Alex Sager. Chris Parton in the 717. Steam starting to pour from the Sattler number 66. Cornwell 66 for Team SDBD. Still hanging in there. Back end looks just about perfect for him. Sattler gets pushed up against the wall. Chris Parton is free up at the top of the track in the 717 for Big Dog. Smoke pouring from the other remaining Big Dog car. Testing the waters here. Alex Sager and Nugent stuck together here. Alex throws it in gear, trying to find somebody. He's going to hook shot it in. It ends up being a hit for Nugent. Same team for Alex. Tire up into the trunk lid. We saw Alex's Continental gather another car earlier in the weekend. I can't remember what heat it was, and they were stuck for quite some time. Flattening that trunk lid out. Look at how far the nose is pushed back on the Sattler number 66. Cole Sattler for Team Big Dog. Nose way back on that thing. And still using it. Puts a shot on the doors as he continues to smoke. With that nose as high as it is, it might be time to start thinking, if that thing's going to go up in smoke, start breaking radiators. You know, uncork a couple haymakers on cars that are still lower than you, and maybe try to break some radiators and change the fortunes here. If you're not going to be around at the finish, you can at least help make sure that somebody else isn't around at the finish too. Contact for Alex Sager one more time. Lee Sager with a big shot on the nose. It might have collapsed some of the steering components or suspension components when he went hard nose to nose shot with Sattler. Sattler has that bumper way up in the air, attacking the C-post of that Koch machine over there. The Koch Racing, it's the other Nugent car, I think. right there to help his teammate. 55 of Cornwell gets right turned, and he delivered a monster shot to the left rear corner of Lee Sager's machine. Wow, that really opened up the quarter panel on that wagon. Jeepers. Took the body off the frame, and it stretched out the leaf spring as well. You can see how much that perch is stretched. Right, giving it the business. There's Parton in the 717, collapsed left front wheel, still hanging in there. Puts the shot on the right side of Alex Sager's X machine. Steam pushing out for Team Koch now. Now Sattler going to be tangled up in this knot with Nugent and Sager. Chris Parton comes over to try and free Sattler. Not working out. Cornwell in the 66. Nosing up with the 717 of Parton. Parton's just a couple shots away from being on the ground completely. Steam pouring from under the hood now of Lee Sager's roundback. Alex Sager timed out. Sager knifing across the track, gets met by a couple of Koch machines. Again, talked about the steam pouring from under the hood of, I believe that's Nugent's car. Lee Sager just backed it up to the wall. Might have stalled on him. Make contact. Parton now caught in a bad spot. Looks like the bumper got in behind the halo bar support. Everybody able to continue on. Right in a bad spot, trying to make an 18-point turn and trying to make enough contact. What he's trying to do is to shift the direction that this car is pointing so that it can turn, because right now it will not move. I believe Sattler is going to be close to being out of time. Watching the Nugent machine now, if he can make contact, pushing the pile, but not making contact himself. And the Team Koch car up above them, smoking. Lee Sager now being pushed into that pile. Lee Sager the last one for Team Prodigy. Lee just got knotted up with the 5W of Wright. Wright makes contact there. Dalen Brown still doing work. You can see the doors now starting to pinch in on that 020 at the back end, the business end of that 020. Still armed and ready to do battle. And Wright is going to get free. And immediately finds the left rear quarter panel of one of the Koch racing machines. Lee Sager's free now. The watchful eyes are trained on the Koch racing machine stuck to the back of Sattler and Sager. Chris Parton knotted up with the Koch machine as well. Time on the Koch car. 2 Koch cars now out. So SDBD has all 4 cars still running. That's Dalen Brown, Dylan Cornwell, Cole Cornwell, and Dwayne Wright. 2 cars left for Koch Motorsports, Koch Racing. One of them being Cody Koch. Cody Koch and his team have won this in the past. Big Dog Derby, one car left for them. Chris Parton, he is stuck to Nugent at this time. Heavy smoke pouring from Nugent's machine. And Lee Sager still trying to carry the torch for Team Prodigy in a shredded wagon right now. And smoke pouring from the radiator where that has been popped. Sager might have just backed up to his final resting place. Sager still hanging in there. And Cole Cornwell puts a shot on the left rear corner. I thought for sure that was where that car was going to come to a stop, but still has a little bit of life under the hood. Red flag for a tire someplace. Looks like the tire from the front corner of Chris Parton has come off. There's the tire right there. And that is... who is that? Is that Dalen Brown? It's starting to curl? No, can't be. We are back to our perch and we are ready to go. Everybody's clocks reset after the red flag for an official's red flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars still running and moving. Officials, we down to 1 Koch car, or is there 2? 2. The one stuck to Parton still has time though. Okay. Big Dog Derby. Going to go in the book 4th place. Overall, it's Chris Parton. His car expires, and Nugent going to be going with him. With Team Koch. Still 1 representative left for Koch. Still 1 representative left for Team Prodigy. Prodigy stuck up there with Dalen Brown. Is that going to be enough to get them free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 cars left. Alright, trying to get that car to pivot. Buries the nose in the back of Lee Sager. Sager close to blowing the thing up. David Brown not really willing to work with him either. They're both trying to get free, but that nose is way. It's now I think it's wheel lock. Dalen Brown goes out. The first elimination from SDBD at this point. So that's heck of a run, and we're down to 4 in the middle of the track. Did the white wagon go out? Lee Sager still in, okay. Lee Sager officially in the book 5th place overall, going to give Prodigy 3rd place in the team standing. And Wright is hung up. And it's coming down to Cody Koch. Duking it out with Dylan Cornwell right now, and the 55 of Cornwell. Trying to get hit, trying to make contact, doesn't have a lot of options. There's contact for the 55. Koch trying to move a little bit more urgency after that exchange over there along those tires. Again, it's 2-on-1 right now. The pin is on, and Cody Koch trying to focus on the more laboring car, I guess you could say, at this point. Trying to get the 55 to make a bad decision. Puts a shot on the 66. Those are both SDBD team cars. Cody Koch prepared to drive in circles. Still plenty mobile. Definitely more mobile than the 55. Big hit. Put him up on the trunk lid. And now they are trying to finish it off. Cody Koch got put up on the roof. Championship over Koch. Koch getting put up on the tailgate there, the trunk lid of a car towards the end, and then held in place by the Cornwells. outfinish this one off. Cody Koch going in 3rd overall, 2nd place for Team Koch Racing, 3rd place Prodigy Lee Sager carrying the torch down there, and Big Dog Derby going in 4th place.